as much as we love football, you and I both love to hit the links and golf as much as anyone maybe on the ESPN roster, save for Bucci Gross over there in Connecticut. So let's discuss another huge event on the golfing calendar. We've seen 4 majors and Olympic Games, now the 2021 Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits. First and foremost, our captain for Team America, Steve Stricker. He said he's most likely leaving PGA champion and 50-year-old Phil Mickelson off the team despite his experience and despite a major champion to his name this very season. So I got to know whether you agree or disagree with Strick if he indeed, as indicated, leaves Mickelson off the team.
Listen, we're going to get in a little bit more handicapping on this track in just a second, but I agree with him. You've got to love what Phil did this year, winning a major at the age of 50, 51. He's in the best shape of his life. What he would mean to be a part of that roster and on that Ryder Cup in regard to, him being a veteran and the experience he has, I think would be priceless. But because this is a links course, I think we need to pay attention. I think Steve needs to pay attention to some of the other golfers that have performed well more consistently this season than Phil did in order to get the win, because I think it's going to be a tough challenge against the Europeans.
I understand what you're saying. I don't know if it'd be a good idea to leave Phil off for a couple of reasons. One, he has been playing well. As you said, mentally and physically, his game is in great shape. Obviously, the PGA Championship win. But when I look at this roster for Team USA, you're going to need someone in the locker room that can hold things together and keep it light. Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson. Patrick Reed and everyone. There's a lot of volatile personalities, and some of them really don't get along on Team America. So having someone like Phil, who can be a patriarch, who is playing good enough golf, I think, to qualify, but can also bring an intangible element of keeping things light between Brooks and Bryson, or maybe, being a guy who can put his arm around Patrick Reed and invite him and involve him with everyone else. Team chemistry matters, and the Europeans have had more of that in recent years than the Americans. It is a big advantage that this is on American track. We'll talk about the odds here in just a second, but I wonder if Phil can help Steve Stricker and his team, because guys who are guaranteed a roster spot, a lot of them don't really like each other on tour, and we know that for sure. Now, from an odds perspective, Anita, the Americans are minus 175 favorites. The Euros plus 175, again, coming over to Kohler, Wisconsin, and Whistling Straits. Do you have a lean to either side with those prices, and why?
So it's really interesting. When you look at the top 15 golfers in the world, 10 of them are American, right? Now, the Americans have had a phenomenal year. And so understandably so, they should be favored. But here's the thing. It's on American soil. So why would you choose Whistling Straight as the golf course that you are playing the Ryder Cup on, because it is a links-style course, which Europeans thrive on? So if I could get the Europeans, what is it, plus 175 on a track that they fare well on, as opposed to why didn't they go get a Parkland-style course, right? Really? This is what you do? You're finally back on American soil, and you're going to pick a link-style course, a feet-dye course. So, I think at plus 175 for the Europeans, just because they're going to feel right at home here in the United States, I think that could be a smart wager.
Yeah, I'm probably going to pass on a side, to be honest, but if I had to pick one, I'd rather bet the Euros at that value than the Americans at minus 175 for the reasons I mentioned. You never know how volatile this locker room could be. These guys could be as teammates. So I'm definitely not betting the Americans. If I bet a side, which I'm not saying I would, I'd lean towards your side and the Euros at plus 175, Anita. All right, finally, we know Steve Stricker has 6 guys that will automatically qualify because of their Ryder Cup standings. Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, DJ, Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau amongst that group. But he needs to fill out his roster with 6 others who will be captain's picks. Do you have some names for Strick to consider?
I do. Harris English, he's won twice on tour, 10 top 10s. Tony Finau and Jordan Spieth, because these are 2 of the best Americans who play well on link-style courses and also peat-dye courses. Berger, he's won 8 top 10s. Scottie, Scheffler, gosh, I love this young man. 8 top 10s as well this season, and Sam Burns, he's 1 and he has 7 top 10s. So those are my 6 that I would select if I was Stevie.
All right, we have 3 similarities, 3 differences. I have Spieth, I have Berger, I have Scottie Scheffler like you do, but I'm going to throw Patrick Cantlay, Patrick Reed, and Phil Mickelson into the mix. We know Reed is one of the best Americans at this Ryder Cup format. Despite whether or not guys like him, he wins, and wins whether it's individual or tag team events. Patrick Cantlay, just one of the best all-around players in the world. I think he can thrive at a course like Whistling Straits. And then I talked about earlier, I think Mickelson will be necessary for someone in that locker room to have enough clout to say, hey, Bryson, Brooks, cut it out. We got to win this on American soil. DJ, Brooks, whatever your beef is, get over it, squash it. Patty Reed, you are Captain America, and we are going to welcome you onto this team, and everyone's going to get along for the next however many days of this event. So I think he can bring that intangible element, plus he is playing well enough to warrant on the merit of his own golfing after winning the PGA Championship to be on the team. So 3 similarities, 3 differences there for the Ryder Cup. Maybe one day you and I could co-captain the Ryder Cup, because I think we do a good job in that. What do you think, Anita?
How fun would that be?
That would be the time of our lives, no doubt about it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.